Hi friends, welcome to the lecture on overview of mass transfer operations. In this lecture, we are going to see what are the different types of mass transfer operations available, their basic principle, applications and equipment in brief. Let's start our session. We have seen the classification of mass transfer operations based on the phase combinations. The phase combination is nothing but the details of phases between which the mass transfer is taking place. We have seen 4 phase combinations: gas-liquid, liquid-liquid, liquid-solid and solid-gas. We have seen mass transfer operations available for gas-liquid combination as absorption, stripping, distillation and humidification, dehumidification. When we consider liquid-liquid combination, the mass transfer operations available are extraction, liquid-liquid extraction. When we consider liquid-solid combination, the mass transfer operations available are leaching, adsorption, crystallization. When we consider solid-gas combination, operations available are drying, adsorption. Let's see details of each of these operations in brief. First, let's consider absorption. As we have seen, absorption belongs to gas-liquid mass transfer operation. That means the mass transfer takes place between liquid and gas phases. But in which direction the transfer takes place? Let's define. When you consider one liquid and a gas containing some components which need to be separated. The yellow colored particles denote here the valuable component or the component which is of interest or which is of safety concern or which is to be removed from gas phase. That means it can be a valuable product or it can be a pollutant or it can be a safety hazard issue. We are interested in removing this yellow color particles from gas phase by using a suitable solvent. The blue colored portion here represent the solvent which is selected for the separation. When these phases are brought into contact, an interface is formed which is separating gas phase and liquid phase, and through the interface the transfer of these yellow particles takes place to the liquid. Here the liquid selection play a greater role as we have to select a solvent or a liquid such that it has to attract the component which is to be separated from gas phase. In this way, the transfer of the component or solute from gas phase to liquid phase is called absorption. So we can see that the mass transfer takes place from gas phase to liquid phase. Let's consider stripping. Stripping is opposite of absorption. That means in absorption, the solute transfer takes place from gas phase to liquid phase. In stripping, the solute transfer takes place from liquid phase to gas phase. When we consider gas-liquid phases, and when you consider one liquid with some solute particles and a gas phase which is free from gas solute particles, and it is brought into contact with the liquid, then the solute particles, that means the black colored particles present in the solvent or solution, is transferred from liquid phase to gas phase through interface. So in the previous section we have seen absorption, how absorption happens from gas phase to liquid phase, the solute transfer takes place, and here the liquid to gas phase, the solute transfer takes place. So that solute is getting transferred from liquid to gas phase. So this is called stripping operation. Let's see the applications of absorption in industry point of view. Separation of gases. If you want to separate some gaseous mixture into its components, you can use absorption. Removal of pollutants and impurities from gases. As we have seen, if you want to remove some impurities from gases or pollutant from gases, you can choose a suitable solvent to extract those pollutants by using absorption. Capturing acid gases like hydrochloric acid and sulfur dioxide in industry, HCl and SO2. Removal of odorous emissions in food industries and other industries of application include paper mills, mines, steel mills and waste to energy plants. In all these industries, we can see the applications of absorption. Shipping industry also use this absorption to remove sulfur dioxide using seawater as solvent to bring down sulfur dioxide emissions limit as per regulations set by countries. These are the brief details of applications of absorption. Let's see types of absorption. Physical absorption, in which there is no chemical reaction between solute and solvent. The absorption takes place only on physical basis. Whereas chemical absorption, the absorption happens through chemical reaction. What are the equipment available for absorption? Tray towers, a column containing trays, packed bed columns, columns containing packed beds, Venturi scrubbers and spray towers. The details of each of these equipment will be discussed in following lectures. Let's consider distillation. It belongs to gas liquid separation as we have seen earlier. Here the mass transfer takes place in both the phases, that means gas to liquid and liquid to gas. The component which is transferring from gas to liquid is a less volatile component, and the component which is transferred from liquid to gas is called more volatile component. Let's see what is meant by more volatile component and less volatile component. The volatility is the tendency of a component to get vaporized. If a component is more volatile component, that means by taking little energy or less energy, it always tends to get vaporized. That's why it has low boiling point. Whereas less volatile component requires more energy to get vaporized. That's why it has more boiling point or high boiling point. In brief, we can say that less volatile component is nothing but the component which is having high boiling point. More volatile compound is a compound which is having low boiling point. If you consider a liquid mixture which is a binary mixture containing components A and B. Among A and B, one is high boiling point component and another is low boiling point component. When you consider a secondary phase generation, as we have seen in an earlier lecture that sometimes we can generate second phase by supplying some energy. So distillation uses some energy to generate some vapor phase for the separation. So when we supply some energy to this liquid phase, what happens? Both A and B grab that energy and get vaporized. We have seen less volatile component and more volatile component. So more volatile component takes energy and gets vaporized fast, whereas less volatile component takes energy and gets vaporized slowly compared to more volatile component. That's why the phase which is generated from liquid phase contains more volatile component in mature portion, whereas the liquid behind after vaporization contains less volatile component in a mature portion. So here the black color particles denotes more volatile component and yellow color particles denotes less volatile components. When these two phases are into contact, the transfers takes place like this. The more volatile component which is left in a liquid phase gets transferred to gas phase, and the less volatile component which is left in a gas phase comes back to liquid phase. You might be thinking the mass transfer takes place from higher concentration to lower concentration, but here the transfer takes place in the opposite direction. This is because the chemical potential plays a major role in this transfer to happen. So when we consider the chemical potential, with respect to chemical potential, the transfer takes place. So in a later lectures, we are going to see the concept of chemical potential and how it is causing the mass distillation to happen. So in brief, you can see the overall separation like this. You are taking some liquid mixture and you are giving some energy to this to generate some gas phase. When this gas phase and the liquid phase are into contact, the more volatile component get transferred from liquid to gas phase, whereas the less volatile component transfer takes place from gas to liquid phase. In this way, the distillation can happen to get purified product. Applications of distillation. It is a major application in the industries. Petroleum refineries, all petroleum refineries work on the principle of distillation. You have crude oil and crude, and from the crude you get number of products like gasoline, petroleum. Petroleum is nothing but naphtha, and LPG gas and other products from crude oil distillation. Separation of alcohol and water into its components. You have taken a binary mixture containing alcohol and water, and it gets separated into purified products, alcohol and water. Liquefied air into oxygen, nitrogen, argon. Nowadays, due to COVID pandemic, the oxygen production gained much interest. So when we see the air is taken into compressor and then it is compressed and into, after following some unit operations like heat transfer and mass transfer, it is sent to some distillation column where the air, liquefied air, is converted into oxygen, nitrogen and argon. Water purification, extraction of essential oils from herbs in perfume industries, production of natural food flavoring in food industries. These are some applications of distillation. Equipment distillation, mainly tray towers and packed bed columns. As we have mentioned earlier, the details of each of this equipment will be discussed in following lectures. Humidification. This also belongs to gas-liquid separation. Here, the liquid or solute transfer takes place from liquid phase to gas phase. When we consider a liquid containing some solute, here the yellow particles denotes the solute present in the liquid. We are interested in removing these solute particles from liquid. So when we blow some air or some dry gas over the liquid, what happens? The yellow color particles gets transferred to gas phase or vapor phase. In this way, the humidification happens. So that solute transfer takes place from liquid to gas. Generally, this solute is water generally. So applications of humidification: liquid cooling, gas cooling, air conditioning, solvent recovery. Gas drying, water desalination. So this gas drying comes into the category of dehumidification. As we said, humidification, dehumidification. Humidification, liquid transfer takes place from liquid to gas. In dehumidification, liquid transfer takes place from gas phase to liquid phase. So in that, gas drying is an application belongs to dehumidification. Water desalination, and the equipment used for humidification are cooling towers. Mostly you observe in major industries, on all major industries, and spray chambers. These are major equipment for dehumidification and humidification. Now consider extraction. It belongs to liquid-liquid mass transfer. How it happens? You are having one liquid containing solute which is to be separated, and you have to select another solvent or a liquid to extract the component from the liquid mixture. Suppose this yellow color particle are the particles which is to be separated from the solution. So this blue color solution represents the solvent which is selected for extracting these yellow color particles from liquid mixture. When these two liquid mixtures, when these two liquids are brought into contact, this yellow color particles transfers takes place from liquid phase to feed solution to this solvent phase. So in this way, the extraction takes place between liquid and liquid. So the solute transfer takes place from liquid mixture to liquid. So the liquid which is extracting this component is called solvent. The solvent selection play a greater role in determining the efficiency of this separation. Applications of extraction includes separation of close boiling liquids or azeotrophs. We have seen earlier the distillation, which is depending on the boiling point difference, more volatile component and less volatile component. But here, when we consider a mixture containing close boiling points, that means there is no much difference between the boiling points of the components. So in that case, we can use this separation. So separation of close boiling liquids are azeotrophs. Separation of high boiling point mixture, that means we cannot generate the second phase by supplying energy because it needs a lot of energy, which is a cost consuming. Separation of heat sensitive materials. So the materials which are sensitive to heat, that means in that case we cannot supply energy to that. So in that case also we can separate them through extraction. Removal of color and recovery of valuable products. Extraction of natural compounds from trees, fruits, plant leaves, etc. Extraction of valuable products from fermentation growth. These are some applications of extraction. What are equipment for extraction? Again, tray towers, packed buds, Venturi scrubbers, spray tower. Then mixer settlers assemblies. So these are some equipment available for extraction process. Let's discuss leaching. Leaching is a separation. It belongs to solid liquid separation. That means mass transfer takes place from solid phase and liquid phase. So when you consider a solid phase containing some solute particles, so again this yellow particles denotes the solute which is of interest. That means which is of major concern and to be separated from this solid phase. And when you consider some liquid phase, here the blue color represent the solvent which is selected for separation. When you bring this solid into contact with this solvent, what happened? Due to the solubility difference and due to the solubility difference between solid and solute and liquid and solute, what happened? The solute particles are attracted to liquid phase. So the solute particles transfer from solid phase to liquid phase. So again I am just rewinding again. So you are containing a solid phase containing yellow color particles. Okay, yellow color particles denotes the solute particles which need to be separated from solid phase. So when you mix this solvent with this solid phase particle, solid phase or solid material, what happen? The solute which is present in interior of the solid get transferred from solid to solvent like this. In this way the separation takes place. That means solute transfer takes place from solid phase to liquid phase. What are the applications? Oil extraction from seeds, extraction of sugar from sugar beets, tannin extraction, extraction of pharmaceutical products from plants, roots, stems and leaves, extraction of valuable metals from ores in metallurgical industries. These are the major applications of leaching. What is the equipment? Boltzmann extractor, diffuser, extraction battery, rotocell, Pachuca tanks, Bonito extractor. These are the major equipment available for leaching. Now come to the drying. Suppose if you are having a solid which is containing some moisture, that can be water or any solvent, any liquid product. You are interested in removing that solvent or water from the material to get a dried product. How can we do that? So drying is a solid liquid separation, and in this operation the liquid transfer takes place from solid phase to gas phase. Again you are having a solid containing some liquid particles, and when you blow some air or gas over this solid, what happens? Whatever the solvent particles available in the solid gets vaporized and come to the air phase. In this way we can remove the solid. Again I am rewinding once again. You have a solid material which is moist, which is containing some moisture, and you are interested in the removing that moisture by blowing some air or some dry gas over that material, solid material. When the gas material comes into contact, the solvent or moisture present in the solid gets vaporized and comes out through air. So in this way drying happens. Applications of drying. Drying of paper, salt, chemicals, timber, pharmaceutical products, fertilizers, soap, detergents, milk, sugar. There are a number of industries which use this principle of drying. Equipment for drying: tray dryers, truck dryers, agitated pan, rotating batch, vacuum freeze, rotary dryer, fluidized bed, etc. Adsorption. Consider the principle of adsorption. Here, adsorption can take place between solid liquid or solid gas. So let's consider both. If you are having a liquid or a gas containing some solute particles which need to be separated, that can be a pollutant or valuable product. Suppose consider water, polluted water. You are interested in removing those pollutants. Okay. So for that you need solid material. You take a solid material which can adsorb those solute particles towards it, so that it can be separated from liquid phase or gas phase considered. Let's see how it happens. You take solid phase and a liquid phase or gas phase containing solute particles. When this solid phase is brought into contact with the liquid phase, the solute particles gets adsorbed on the surface of this solid. Okay, this is not absorption. This is different from absorption, because you already know that adsorption takes place on the surface of the solid particles. So it is like a attachment of solid particles or solute particles onto the surface of solids. So this is called adsorption. So I am rewinding once again. You are taking some solid material which is called adsorbent. It is mixed with some gas mixture or a liquid mixture which is containing some solute particles. When the solute particles comes into contact with solid phase, the solute particles gets attracted towards solid surface and gets absorbed onto the surface of this solid. Okay, so this is how the adsorption takes place. So applications of adsorption. If you consider solid liquid system, there are separate application. If you consider a solid gas system, there are separate application. Removal of moisture from gasoline, organic solvents. Removal of sulfur components from organic compounds. Removal of organic pollutants from water. Removal of absorptional color, odor, taste. Recovery of vitamins. If you consider solid gas system, there are different applications. Dehumidification gases, odor removal from industrial gases, pollution control, solvent recovery, production of nitrogen, gases, oxygen from air. So earlier we have seen the production of nitrogen and oxygen using distillation. There you can get liquid products, but here you can separate air into nitrogen and oxygen in a gaseous form. Separation of hydrogen from synthetic gases, control of automobile emissions. These are the different applications of adsorption between solid and gas system. Equipment of our adsorption: for gas solid adsorption, fixed bed, moving bed, combined fluidized bed, moving bed adsorption. For liquid solid, agitated vessels, moving beds, fixed beds, simulated moving beds. Crystallization. This is a final separation we are going to discuss in this lecture. If you are having a solution and you are causing some saturation into this solution, what happens? Let's see. So crystallization is a solid liquid separation. Here the solute gets transferred from liquid to solid. How it happens? If you are having a liquid solution which is having some solute into it and it is a homogeneous mixture, and when you cause some saturation, supersaturation by means of some cooling, some other means, you can cause this supersaturation by reducing the temperature or increasing the temperature or any foreign, through the use of some foreign material or some adding some extra chemical. By any means you can cause supersaturation. Supersaturation is nothing but the solution is having component more than its saturation limit. Okay, so when you cause supersaturation to this liquid, what happens? The solid particles starts forming and start growing. Okay, so the solid particles, when you see when the supersaturation happens, some nucleus forms, and after this mass transfer takes place from solution to this solid particles. So when you see this, these solid particles grow in size because the solute is getting transferred from solution to the solids. Okay, first formation happens through this supersaturation. After that, the growth of these crystals or the solid particles happens through mass transfer between liquid and solid. So the formed solid particles here, these are called crystals, which are having a clear defined structure, and the liquid solution is called mother liquid. So the solute which is getting transferred from mother liquid to solid particles is called solute, which is of matter, which is of concern. So crystallization applications we can find in the pharmaceutical industries, food industries, agrochemical industries, cosmetic industries, desalination of water, sugar production, salt production, etc. Equipment: agitator batch, Spencer-Walker, evaporator crystallizer, forced circulation evaporator, draft tube baffle crystallizers. These are like a various overview of various mass transfer operations available in this course, and the details will be discussed in a more detailed manner in coming lecture. Thank you.